Hello dear students, I hope you are fit and fine. Welcome in this online sessions of the English 10th standard, and the reference book which we are using today is the main textbook of our English, that is the 10th standard English textbook First Flight. As you can see behind me, the lesson's name is beautifully written by me, that is the Diary of Anne Frank. So in this lesson today we are going to learn about the basic things related to the Anne Frank, and also we'll learn about how she struggled in the time of the war, as well as how she struggled in the time of her childhood days, as well in her other days too here. So one thing which is very much common in this lesson that we need to understand in this topic of theory, that a girl is a very innocent, and she is writing some kinds of her own emotions in her diary, where she is not having her any original friends. She is not having a real friend, and therefore she is actually composed, or she is compelled to write down inside a diary. Furthermore, she will be also giving a name to the diary. What will be the name? That I will be making you to understand in between of this lecture. So till then you have to be together with me till the last point of the lecture. So you need to somehow understand, my dear students, this kinds of kids, or this kinds of time in which these kinds of kids are living, like Anne Frank, they must have struggled well, and also they must have somehow, you can say that they must have suffered well also in this kinds of circumstances, where the war was one side there, another side you have to hide with your family, and the more apart from that is you cannot enjoy your basic things also as you are a child here. So you need to understand that this lesson is all depending upon the basic contemporary theory of a girl, her life, and the tragedy of her life, which is also relating in this lesson number 4, the Diary of Anne Frank. So I hope you have already taken out your textbook, and if you have not taken out, then you should take out the textbook, where I can make you understand about these kinds of theories, which is on the page number 48 and 49 here. So starting from the general thing, see, you can focus on the blackboard as I have written here, my dear students, that Anne Frank, that is from 12th June 1929 to 1945. Okay, it's a lifespan given there, and therefore she was a German girl born Jewish in the family, wrote while in the hiding with her family inside the bunker, or you can say inside the place where she was needing to hide out inside here. So therefore we can say that whenever you are actually feeling some kinds of problem, personal emotions are explored out somehow, you need to show that kind of emotions, or you need to share that kind of emotions to some kinds of people. But if they are only not with you, then what you will do in this condition? You need a person who will be very, very familiar and very, very close to you. So in this case of theory, we can say that Anne Frank was also needing a person, and as I mentioned you just before a couple of seconds, that she was not having any kind of real friend who can tell everything. So she was writing in her diary. So what was her full name? If I talk about, then Anne Frank is a name which is given directly towards a call name, or we can say short name here. So before you read, you need to understand that her name was Anneliese Marin Anne Frank. So that is Mary Anne Frank, as we know about the textbook here. So 12th June 1929 to the February or the March 1945. It is not concerned that she got her death in the February or the March. That's why the both of the months are written here, and that's why it is written February or the March 1945. So now she was a German girl born in the Jewish family, as I said you, and now while in hiding her family with her family and 4 friends in the Amsterdam. See, when I'm talking about friends, means she is not having all kinds of she is not having a true friend. She is having the friends, but she is not having any kind of true friends. So here, when she is hiding with her friends in the Amsterdam during the German occupation of the we can say like it was like a war situation. Now whenever there is a war, obviously there are some kinds of we can say battles, mini battles, and internal we can say combats are there, and many more kinds of other different kinds of theories are related with that kind of portion of the war also, in which no of the people, or we can say no anyone in the village area, city, town, hall, location, anywhere, are living very freely their life. They are actually struggling to survive each day, per day and night to here. So therefore we can say that as whether Netherlands are capturing, somehow we can say in the World War with the German and all, so somehow we can say in this part her family had moved Amsterdam, And after the Nazi gained power in the Germany, as we know that, between the like power were divided between the initial groups of the same area. So somehow we can say Nazi gained the power in the German, but were trapped when the Nazi occupation extended into the Jewish population or the Netherlands population. Then the people have to move from here. In the war situation, obviously we have to move from the places, as I'm trying to make you explain. As per the persecutions against the Jewish populations, we can say it increased. So the family went hiding inside the July 1942. So as per the we can say as per the precautions, if we talk about percussions, basically family needed some kinds of protection. So the family made themselves hide inside a bunker or inside the underground we can say area also. So therefore, after hiding with her father Otto Frank office building, after 2 years in hiding, the group was betrayed and transported to the occasional camp, or we can say concentrational camp, basically system, which was where Annie got her death. It means that they were having very struggling life. It's very good enough that we are living in a world where these kinds of wars are not experienced by us. It's a very good thing, and that we should thank towards our God, and also we should thank towards our government and the neighboring countries too here. So therefore we can say that the diary was written by Anne Frank, a young girl. Now have you imagined, if you're writing any kind of diary, you will think that who will read the diary of mine? Who is interested to read my story? But actually some people are there. They're reciting your story, they're again we can say reading your story, and they're also finding the better amount of the concept from the story. So therefore the diary was written by Anne Frank for her 13th birthday, okay, and therefore at that time we can say in the chronological order, if we talk about her life was related with some kinds of incidents since from her birth to the death. So therefore there have been also several films made over this kinds of we can say this kinds of diaries, and described as the work of the we can say it is also described that it's a major person who is writing the diary. Like Anne Frank was so well minded that she was writing the diary in a sense that anybody is reading that, he or she can read and he or she can feel that a major person has signifiedly added her beauty of the words inside the diary. So we can say that it's a very beautiful thing that we are reading today, this lesson. And now I need to start the lesson, and also you need to focus on the page as I am telling you. Now see, one thing is very common and simple. Okay, writing in the diary is a strange experience. Writing in the diary is a strange experience. I'm starting the lesson. You can focus in the textbook here. As she said that for someone like me, मेरे जैसा कोई डायरी में लिखता है, कौन पढ़ेगा उसको? Who will read that? So therefore she is telling that writing in the diary is a strange thing. Not only because I have never written in a diary. She is telling that कि मैंने कभी लिखा नहीं डायरी में, but I'm trying to write down there. Anything like before, but also because it seems to that later neither I nor anyone else will be interested to musing inside this kinds of diary of a 13-year-old lady or a girl. So she is telling that it's a condition where I'm writing a diary, but is there anyone who will read this diary also? Or I am also going to read this diary? And the answer will come, no, I will not read. But then also let's write down the diary, as I'm not having a best friend here. So now, she was a school girl. As you know, at the age of 13, you are a school boy or you are a school girl. So, oh, well, she is writing the diary. It doesn't matter. I feel writing, and I have even greater need to get all the kinds of things on my chest here. Means whatever the emotions, feeling, concept, theories are there inside my chest, I need to we can say write down on that. So now what she is doing, she is actually getting her all the sense to write down the diary. So she is telling that can I have ever even greater need to get all the kinds of things off my chest. So let's write down the diary. Let's flow the thought of my own conscience, and I'll make this diary very beautiful. Papers have more patience. Anne Frank is writing also, and she is telling to you, people are having more patience than the people. Sometimes if you're telling something to your people, they might not understand. But if you're telling most of the things to a person who knows you, he might be understanding you, because that is only the one factor where he or she is needing to make you feel comfortable, and also he or she will make you to be good enough to adjust in his words also. So therefore she is telling that writing in a diary is a strange thing, but let me write down here. Now I finally started and I finally stayed where I was brooded. Okay, now she is telling that I was actually thinking about that thing. Yes, paper does have more patience, as she is telling. Papers are having more patience. Let's write down in the paper what goes to us. So since I am not planning, let anyone else read this stiff big notebook and gently, we can say grandly referred to as a diary, unless I should ever find a real friend, and it probably won't make me bite or a difference to here. So she's telling that okay, I will write this diary. Now till when I will write this diary? वो डायरी कब तक लिखेगी? She will write the diary, she will write all the problems, all the life solutions of her in the diary until she is not getting a good friend. And if she will get a good friend, then she will stop writing diary, and she might be showing also her all the thoughts of the diary what she has written inside the diary. So it's a very simple thing. So therefore we can say that I should ever find a real friend, it's probably won't make it a bit of the difference. Let's see, if I'm finding a real friend and it will be not difference from my diary, then I will also share something to my friends and I'll not write the diary. Now I'm back in the point of view to promote to keep my diary in the first place, and I don't have a friend here. So now she's getting at a concept that, what is the concept? Now she's understanding. Okay, I got an information. What is that information? Means she's actually making herself ready that, oh, that's good. I can write a diary here. If I am not having a friend, I can write a diary. I can go with that. I can also prolong my thoughts in that. Until I am not having a good friend, I can write in diary here. So now I have to keep the diary in the first priority, and now I have to go with that. That's only the basic theory which she is actually trying to make you understand. Let me put more clearly. She is telling that. What she is telling? She is telling, चलो थोड़ा clearly बात करते हैं. देखो मेरी बात आप ध्यान से समझिए. This lesson is actually derived from her story of the diary writing. Anne Farank has never given any kind of interviews and all. She is just writing the diary which was found by some of the people, and laterly it was published. So we can say that this is the general thing where she is actually trying to need to write down the diary, in the sense where she is also mentioning her all the kinds of feelings and problems. So therefore she is telling that I am 13-year-old girl and which is completely alone in the world. How is that possible? I don't have any kind of friends. So therefore I have loving parents, a 16-year-old sisters, and there are lots about the 30 people I can call friends. लगभग 30 लोग जिन्हें मैं दोस्त बुला सकती हूँ, बट इसमें से कोई भी ऐसा नहीं है जो मेरा पर्सनल फ्रेंड होगा. फ्रेंडशिप इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग माय डियर स्टूडेंट. Friendship doesn't mean that you need to fall in relationship with that friend. No. It's also not like you need to become like brother or sister. No. Actually, it's like you have to be with him or her like a human being. Share the secrets, you can do that. Live together, life of, you can say friends, you can do that. Eat lunch together. Friendship doesn't mean that you will marry that person, or you will get brothers and sisters relations only. Friendship is a quite different thing, and it is apart from marriage and other relations also. So we can say she is telling that I am not having a friend. So is that possible? एक लड़की जो 13 साल की, उसका कोई friend नहीं होगा. Okay, चलो मैं अकेली हूँ इस वर्ल्ड में. She is telling like that here. But 30 people are there. लगभग मेरे पास 30 ऐसे दोस्त हैं जिन्हें मैं दोस्त बोल सकती हूँ, लेकिन नहीं भी बोल सकते, like that. So now accept my true friend. So no one is there my true friends. True friendships are one of the, we can say, one of the piece of, we can say, gold of our life, because when we are having any true friends, we actually know what is the meaning of life. They support us. Only needing the support is not the friendship. Giving the support is also one kind of friendship here. So therefore we can say, all I think about when I am having some friends, they're having another friends, and I have a good time here. I can't bring myself to talk about anything but the ordinary everything's here, and therefore we don't seems to be able to get angry, or to be able to get laugh together. We all do all things together. So therefore she is telling that it's a not ordinary thing. We don't seems to be able to get any closer, and that's the problem. So that's why maybe it's my fault that we don't come closer, or we don't able to change ourselves, and this is why I started to write a diary here. So she's telling that among the 30 friends, she is not having any kind of friends who can come close to her heart. as well she can also go close to her heart. So therefore she is telling that ki it's a common and basic theory where Anne Frank is trying to make herself comfortable and to tell that ki friendship, I don't have a true friend, but I have a bunch of friends also. So this is why I started to write the diary. If the question is coming in the exam, my dear students, why Annie needed to write a diary, then you need to write down this answer, that though she was having 30 friends, there was no any friend who can she call the true friends. That's why she wrote in the diary, and that is the basic thing about the Anne Frank lesson. Now when she chose a diary to enhance the imagination, long forward and awaited friends in my imagination, she is telling that I don't want to jot down the facts in the diary the way most people would do, so but I will want to write to be my friend in the diary, and I'm going to call this friend as Kitty. So she is telling that I'll not write like all the bullshit things, I'll not write all the everything inside my diary. It's not like that. I will write, but I will write some amount of things in my diary, important amount of things in my diary, and I'm going to name this diary as my friend. So what will be the name? What will be the name? And she is telling that, oh, how's the name Kitty? Kitty is a good name. Kitty means the you can say like a cat's baby, okay, female baby. Kitty we call kitten, kitty. So she is telling that, oh, this is like a cute kitty, and I'll call this friend as a Kitty. So she is now making her friend she is now giving a name to her friend whose name is Kitty. So moving further, since no one would understand my word stories to Kitty if I were to plunge right into that, I had better provided a brief sketch of my life, and much as I dislike doing so here. So she is telling that no one will understand me if I'm gonna make anybody understand. Nobody is gonna understand me because I'm a complete I'm a complete different kind of a creature, or you can say like a human being. So she's telling that this Kitty will understand me. That's why I'm writing myself in the detail. I'm sketching myself in the detail in this words graph to the Kitty. मैं अपने आप को बहुत ही डिटेल में लिखती हूँ इस डायरी में, शब्दों के जाल में, and then Kitty is understanding me. मेरी जो डायरी है वो मुझे समझती है, बिकॉज दूसरे लोग तो क्या होता है, दे कैन मेक द फन ऑफ दैट ऑल्सो. सो क्या मुझे पसंद है, एज मच आई लाइक, एज मच आई डिसलाइक, एवरीथिंग आई एम राइटिंग इनसाइड द डायरी हियर. माय फादर द मोस्ट एडोरेबल पर्सन नाउ शी इज राइटिंग आई हैव एवर बीन सीन and didn't marry my mother until he was 20 we can say like he was 36 and she was 25. So father was actually in love with her mother, but when she became 25 and the father became 36, he married with her. So that's so adorable. Can you imagine? A person is waiting for her partner and then he is marrying that. So that's a general thing. I lived in a I was born in a German family, as is telling that my mother, my sister, my father, we all are living together. So therefore my sister Margaret was born in the Frankfurt in Germany. This was the only place where we can say Frankfurt Treaty of World War was assigned. शायद तुम्हें याद होगा, I have taught you inside the SS lecture. नहीं सुना है तो जाके सुन लो एक बार. So therefore Frankfurt in Germany in 1926, and I was born on 12th June 1929 and I lived in the Frankfurt until I was of the age 4. जब तक मैं 4 साल के नहीं हुई तब मैं जर्मन में ही रहती थी, in the Germany in the Frankfurt, and therefore we can say that कि my mother, my father, everybody were loving me extraordinarily. So my father emigrated to Holland in 1933. Emigrated means he just went to Holland in the search of a job, or in the search of the business, also expanding business. So why he went Holland, that also you know now the answer. So Holland kahan pe? Holland actually Dutch, you know that basically. So I was at 4 and my father went away towards the Holland in 1933, where my mother Edith, her mother's name was Edith Holland Frank, went to him Holland in the September, while our grandmother Margaret went to Holland in the December and I followed in the February. Means all of the family is going one by one. Like father is going first in the Holland, then this mother is going to the Holland, okay, Edith, the name of mother, then the sister is going there to the grandma, then I am also going here. So she is telling that one by one in the chronological order we all went there, and then I also followed. Anne Frank is going to Holland in the February. When I was plunked down with the table as the birthday present for the Margaret. When I was planning something to my sister for her birthday present, I got the information that I need to go to the Holland. So I started right away at the Montessori nursery school. So she was in the Montessori nursery school, admitted inside the Holland, and now I was staying there. She's writing that. Okay, I was staying there. I was at the age of 6, at which I started in the first form, and I was knowing about the education also. I was learning also, and I was practicing with my teachers too here. So in the 6th form of my teacher, Mrs. Cupreso, the headmistress, and all were there in the teacher in the grade of school. Sometime, you know, we are writing about the teachers also in the diary. So she is also writing that at the grade of 6th I had my one of the very good teacher. Her name was like Mrs. Cupresu, and she was the headmistress of the department. So at that end of the year, we both in the tears were said, like heartbroken farewell was given to us. Like when we were about to leave the school, I and my 30 friends, Anne Farank is telling, I cried and my teacher also cried. Sometimes the relation between the student and the teacher is so deep that we can understand, my dear student, that they don't need to separate here. Obviously, students are studying in the school, teachers are also there in the school, but when the farewell is coming, the student has to leave the school. Now when the student is leaving the school, they are leaving the school, there is a very emotional term of the time which we need to pass through that here. So sometimes teachers are also crying, sometimes students are also crying here. So therefore it was a heartbreaking theory when I separated from the farewell, as the farewell was given there. And in the summer of 1949, grandma fell ill and had to have an operation here, so my birthday passed on the little celebration only. So when she came back to home, Holland, she was actually feeling that her grandma was not feeling well, and when they diagnosed her, they found that she needed to do the operation. So everybody was running behind the grandma as she was admitted, and nobody was taking care of the Anne Farank. So she celebrated her birthday in a very you can say little mood, or in a very little enjoyment. The celebration was not on the great to the pomp here. That's why we can say that the grandma's candle was also lit out there only. So the grandma died in January 1942. After getting operation, she didn't survive and she died here. No one knows how often I think of her, still miss her. Sometime when you are actually loving your parents, loving your grandma, grandpas and all, and when they leave us, you badly miss them. Why? Because they are only the people who are very close to you. So she is also writing that she is writing in the diary, यार किटी पता है तुम्हें, I just miss my grandma, but nobody knows about that. पता नहीं किसी को पता भी नहीं, but I really miss her. She passed away in 1942. So no one cares about this, and this birthday celebration in 1942 was intended to make up for the other, and the grandma's candle was also lit along with the rest here. इस birthday पे जो 1942 पे जो birthday आया, I also made an extra candle to lit up for the name of grandma. Grandma के नाम पे एक और candle मैंने वहाँ पे जलाया. तो that is also one of the thing where we can say that she is actually giving that is rest in peace to her grandma. Rest of us, we can say that stories relating with her own family, like she is telling that the four of us means sisters, Annie, and father, mother and all. So well, and that bring me to the present date, and 20th January 1942, and the solemn dedication of my diary was written there. So after that they gave me the small present also, and when I was present at the date of 20th June 1942, and the solemn dedication of my diary was done there. Means after that I started to write down the diary, because I was not anyone with the closer towards me who can understand me, who can somehow lead with me, and who can also try to make me comfortable, feel better inside the theory of own sense here. So this is the story where I am trying to make you understand, my dear students, about the diary of Anne Farank. Now what she is writing on the diary of Saturday 20th June 1942. She is writing something specially in the diary, quoting Dear Kitty, or we can say Dearest Kitty. What she is writing, that we'll see in the other part of the lecture. Till then you can revise this story about Anne Farank, and also you can get some better examples by reading the introductory part of this lesson. Page number is somehow 48. So we'll meet you soon in the other part of the lecture. Till then you can take care, keep revising. Jai Hind.